is being overweight a risk factor for being hypogonadal as well?
Yes, it is. Especially if we now know there's a few different types of obesity. The most common type, the one that accompanies aging, is where not only do you, as you age, you lose muscle mass, you lose skeletal muscle, and you gain subcutaneous fat. And we see that, our pinchable fat, our faces get fatter, our necks sag, whatever. That's a problem. But the biggest problem is you gain fat around your internal organs called visceral fat. Visceral fat is an endocrine organ, actually. It secretes chemicals into your bloodstream that can cause a chronic low-grade inflammatory state. And when you have obesity plus this chronic inflammation caused by the obesity, at least directly or indirectly, that's what we call metabolic syndrome. And a huge percentage of people in the US have metabolic syndrome. And now I'm forgetting what the original question was because I'm going off on my lecture.
If being obese was a risk factor for low T as well.
Yes. So what happens is when you have metabolic syndrome and you're obese, this chronic inflammation interferes with your testosterone production, sometimes directly. For example, some of the chemicals released by visceral fat, which are called adipocytokines, have a pro-inflammatory effect on parts of the brain. For example, your hypothalamus, which releases something called GnRH, which tells your pituitary to produce other hormones called LH and FSH. The LH and FSH obviously tell your testes to make testosterone. And the inflammatory state of obesity can actually interfere directly with that circuit at multiple different points. But increasingly, what we're also finding out is not only does, when I use the term obesity, what I mean is metabolic syndrome, because I said there's different types of obesity, but okay. So what we're also finding out is obesity is also accompanied by this chronic inflammatory state that can interfere with your androgen signaling, is what it looks like too. So you can have a situation where men have so-called normal levels, but their androgen signaling is very inefficient for multiple cellular reasons, mostly mitochondrial reasons. If people don't know what mitochondria are, they're parts of just about every cell in your body that generate energy. And a big part of the way that testosterone works is by modulating those. You can think of them as engines, okay? And it does so in beneficial ways. It can do so in certain contexts in not so beneficial ways. But yeah, the answer to the question is, does obesity predispose you to low testosterone? Yes, not only does it predispose you to having low testosterone levels, it predisposes you to having, for lack of a better term, a situation where your testosterone doesn't work as efficient. What you do have doesn't work as efficiently as it should, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And concerning treatment of those guys, will putting them on TRT help with the obesity, or will you first make them lose weight so it will help for the testosterone?
So when you say those guys, do you mean just specifically obese guys, or obese guys with normal levels?
Obese guys with low T already.
Oh, with low T already? Yes. So there's multiple studies that show this too. The testosterone helps in many ways. The first way, the way that's probably most relevant to the audience, is what are the most common drugs used to treat obesity these days? Well, that would be things like semaglutide, tirzepatide. Some people use retatrutide, which is not, approved in the US yet. Those drugs are pretty effective, right? The problem is they cause a lot of muscle loss because people end up losing a lot of fat, but they lose a lot of muscle. If you lose a lot of muscle when you're losing weight, that's not good, because it actually lowers your resting metabolic rate to lose muscle tissue. Most of your glucose being blood sugar, is utilized by your skeletal muscle. So the idea is, if you're obese, yes, you want to lose fat, but you want to lose fat without losing muscle. So the TRT does several things in addition to like drugs like GLP-1 drugs. Is it helps preserve muscle mass while you lose fat. It also accelerates the fat loss because testosterone has very potent effects on pathways that affect lipogenesis and handling of blood sugar and insulin sensitivity, especially. So what I would say is, yes, it does almost always help, and in men, especially with low testosterone levels, it's pretty profound.
Mm-hmm. So you don't make them lose weight first, and you say TRT will be the cherry on top. You start them on TRT at once.
What I do is I start them on 4 things. First thing is resistance training. Some type of weightlifting is extremely important. The second thing is, yes, diet, but especially we want to have a protein intake that's targeted towards muscle gain. And the third thing we do is something targeted towards the obesity, which is in the vast majority of cases, semaglutide, tirzepatide, whatever. And then, if I think it's going to be beneficial, in many cases it is, then the testosterone comes on top of all those things. One thing I don't do is I don't put people on TRT if they're not willing to do at least the resistance training and the diet modification. Okay. Just being fat and being on TRT and just sitting on your couch is going to be, I guess if your testosterone levels are very low, you may have some like cognitive benefits from it, but medically speaking, you're not going to benefit anywhere near as much from it. And there are many studies. The most famous one is something called the T4DM study, which was published in the Lancet, I believe, in 2021 or 2022. And this study showed that even in men with normal pretreatment testosterone levels, on the lower side, but still fall within the normal range, if they do a resistance training program plus testosterone, compared to men who do just resistance training and no testosterone, they have about a 40% decreased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, which is actually a higher rate of, there's probably a better term for this, but a higher rate of not getting diabetes than if you use the diabetes drug called metformin. So metformin is commonly used in patients at risk of diabetes to prevent them from getting diabetes. There's a few studies now that show that TRT actually works at least as good as metformin, probably even better. And how does it work? Number one, it increases your skeletal muscle mass, which is what helps with the glucose control long term. That's not a short term effect of TRT. And it also reduces your visceral fat. Remember when I was talking about the fat around your internal organs, visceral fat? There's very few drugs that reduce that. GLP-1 drugs, looks like they can reduce it. But we've known for a while that testosterone also reduces visceral fat. And it's very interesting how testosterone does that because it involves estradiol, okay, which a lot of guys are a little bit confused about. But yeah, that's essentially the answer.